Welcome back, SacTown Underground family. It's Celestial. I will be your host today. It's been a while. Nice to see you guys. Thank you very much for showing up again and tuning into our broadcast. Today, on another episode of SacTown Underground, we will have Executive Director of Access Sacramento, Mr. Gary Martin, we are interviewing him, and he will be telling us some wonderful things. We have Matthew Timoszyk. We will also have a special segment where my brother and I work out together, because even amidst all of this craziness, you need to keep some form of sanity. And I think that exercising, keeping your health is a perfect way of doing that. And we also end with a music performance, which will be by Mr. Carl Robinson. Stay tuned. Our very own Caitlin Ellis had the opportunity to interview Mr. Gary Martin, who again is the Executive Director of Access Sacramento, and talking to him about how we are continuing forward amidst this COVID situation. Let's hear what they have to say.
Hello, Caitlin Ellis. Today I have the pleasure of having Executive Director of Access Sacramento, Gary Martin. How are you today?
I'm doing great, Caitlin. Thanks very much for this opportunity.
Can you please tell us a little bit about Access Sacramento and some of the services you guys have and what you guys offer?
Sure. Well, Access Sacramento, more than anything else, is a cable distributor, and we operate a radio station as well. But for our members who, like you, want to put programming onto our two cable channels, there's an opportunity for people to create video and to put it on cable channel 17 or 18. We also operate a radio station, KUBU 96.5 FM. And both the cable operation as well as our radio station are streamed from our website throughout the world. So like this program, anybody who wants to watch it while it's coming down cable television can also watch it live on the internet. But we also provide a variety of other services. So for people who want training on how to operate television cameras, to edit video, to create programs for television. We have checkout equipment. We also have a main TV studio so that people can train to work in a TV control room, as well as in the TV studio itself where the cameras and microphones are. So all of that in conjunction with a digital media lab where people can come in and learn to edit video on a computer, to do computer graphics, or otherwise to create their programs for cable television. And Caitlin, this is very much like a library, which means that once someone gets their library card by getting an inexpensive membership, then everything else is free. You know, it's like the books at the library. If you want to check it out, you can do that once you've taken the class, gotten a membership, but we know you're not going to break our stuff.
And can you please tell us, of course, you guys have continued on, but how has COVID-19 affected Access Sacramento?
Well, of course, we share our condolences for anybody who has had some type of health impact associated with this, out of Sacramento County and in all of the, your world. Anybody that you know, certainly we hope that everyone is recovering and doing well. But Access Sacramento is a nonprofit. We operate out of the Coloma Community Center. That is a city building. And right after the declaration of the state of emergency and the pandemic, Access Sacramento did close its offices to the public and sent all of our full-time benefited staff home. And so they have all been working from home. It was only a couple weeks ago that we started to actually bring an office worker back in to answer the phones and ultimately to take payments and communicate on a more direct one-to-one basis directly out of the office. But that's only 4 hours a day and 4 days a week. But the studios remain closed. The radio station is in automation. So people are creating content like you are in a variety of new ways without a TV studio, and turning those programs in to air on our cable channels and of course on the radio station. It is a challenge. I'm sure you recognize from other interviews that you've been doing over the last couple of months for people to feel safe. We want to make sure that as we go through a phased reopening, first with the office and then starting to add more services, that the staff are safe, that our members who may come to us for checking out equipment or using the studios are also going to be safe. And given that we're a couple weeks past the big protests near the state capitol, we are of course concerned that the numbers are starting to climb again in Sacramento County for those people with cases of coronavirus. So we don't want to move too fast. We do want to protect our members.
And can you please tell us,
Pardon me.
in lieu of coronavirus, you are continuing, how are you guys continuing? How are you guys doing production, just like this? Can you please tell us?
We use a program that is called StreamYard. So like Zoom, it also allows us to create programs. Unlike a Zoom meeting, though, where you can put as many as 20 people on the screen and a number of pages and up to 100 people overall in an overall Zoom meeting, in StreamYard, the number of images that are allowed on the screen is just 6. Now, the difference there is that StreamYard allows a variety of what I would call television production enhancements. Like this broadcast right now has the black frame around it and the black background. In StreamYard, we're able to add some production backgrounds for Livewire. It also allows for what we would call an overlay, so that a name could appear on the bottom of the screen in the way that a more traditional television program that's doing news might be able to do that. So it's just a slightly different platform. Others use Periscope or some other programs like that, but Zoom obviously works really, really well.
Thank you. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us?
Well, Access Sacramento provides a variety of services, and it has truly been a challenge over the course of the last several months when, the business of creating television programming really is, the ability to communicate, tell your story, share your voice. And so, one of the most important parts, of course, is that people continue to feel like they are being heard. And that's one of the things that Access Sacramento can help people do. When people share a feed to Facebook or they put something on Twitter, in our world, we call that narrowcasting. The idea that, you are connecting through social media and a digital world, but you're only hitting a very narrow group of people, ones that are already your friends and people who have already liked your page. And so what Access Sacramento and cable in general can do is to take that feed that you're creating and take it outside of the narrow version of people who kind of already know who you are, and instead you're able to broadcast it as a broadcast instead of a narrowcast. And you don't know where you're going to pick up viewers all across the cable world that are going to suddenly hear something that they don't typically hear. And then your ability to affect change, to use your free speech voice in the cable world to really connect with an audience and influence those folks that are different than the ones that maybe are already aligned with your thinking. So cable is a really great opportunity, and certainly with the technology that we bring, people can really step up their game and make it as good as it possibly can be.
Thank you. My final question is, if anybody would like to find out more about Access Sacramento, where can they find you, Access Sacramento?
And the phone number to get a hold of Access Sacramento is 916-456-8600. And then just hit 0 for the operator. And Caitlin, since you kind of allowed that open opportunity, I will say that there are orientations to how Access Sacramento works and how people can get involved with us and get your voice on cable television or on the radio. The orientations are always on the 2nd Tuesday or on the 4th Wednesday of every month. And of course, to get information about us in general, that schedule and phone numbers and the broadcast schedule, all of that is from our website, and that's www.accesssacramento.org. And we have our events like our film festival and training class workshops, that type of stuff. even as we kind of slowly move toward a phased full reopening. So many more of our members have started to create some live programming because of an upgrade that we did with our main automation that puts the channels on the air. There's an upgrade that allows Zoom meetings or StreamYard or content that's coming from the outside like this to actually be live on our channel, very much like a live shot. And so Libertarian Counterpoint has been going live. The governor with his news briefings out of the Office of Emergency Services at noon on channel 18 has been live. And there's some new programming that's coming for kids at 4 o'clock on Monday through Thursday as well. So a variety of live content on our channels, which is a great enhancement and something that really wasn't available till very, very recently because of an upgrade that we did, but also a forced exploration in part because of the coronavirus pandemic. So amazing times we live in.
I love the tenacity of everyone who is on this show to continue to push forward despite adversity and despite the uncertainty of it all. But thank you, Mr. Gary Martin and the wonderful team at Access Sacramento for pushing through and helping us to continue to live our dreams and give you guys content. We are moving on to a mask parody. SacTown Underground had the pleasure of having Mr. Matthew Timoszyk on to discuss the CDC guidelines of COVID-19. Matthew, take it away.
Good evening, I'm Ghost. This just in from the newsroom. New strict CDC guidelines and currently implemented practices all must be followed or you can be cited or detained. You can't leave the house for any reason, but if you have to, then you can. Masks are useless, but maybe you have to wear one. It can save you. It is useless, but maybe it's mandatory as well. Stores are to be closed, except for those that are open. You shouldn't go to hospitals unless you have to go there. Same applies to doctors. You should only go there in case of emergency, provided you are not too sick. The virus is deadly, but still not too scary, except for the worldwide pandemic and global economic collapse. Excuse me. Thank you. Gloves won't help, but they can still help. Everybody needs to stay home, but it's important to go out. There's no shortage of groceries in the supermarket, but there are many things that are missing when you're there in the evening, but not in the morning. Sometimes. You figure it out. The virus has no effect on children except those it affects. Kinda. Animals are not affected, but there is still a cat that tested positive in Belgium in February when no one had been tested. Plus a few tigers here and there. And maybe a dog. Excuse me. You will have many symptoms when you are sick, but you can also get sick without symptoms, have symptoms without being sick, or be contagious without having symptoms, but you may not really be sick. In order to not get sick, you have to eat well and exercise, but eat whatever you have on hand, and it's better to not go out for exercise. It's good to get fresh air, but you get looked at sideways when you get fresh air. And most importantly, don't go to parks or walk too much outside. Don't sit down too long, except you can do that when you're old, but not for too long. Or if you're pregnant, but not too old. You can't go to retirement homes, but you have to take care of the elderly and bring food and medication. And remember, not let them get lonely. If you are sick, you can't go out, but you can go to the pharmacy. Excuse me. Thank you. You can get restaurant food delivered to your home, which maybe have been prepared by people who didn't wear masks or gloves or wash their hands for 20 seconds. But remember, you have to to have your groceries decontaminated outside for 24 hours. That includes pizza delivery too. Don't say or do anything that will scare or panic anyone. You must leave that to the media. Oh, sorry. You can't see your older mother or grandfather, but you can take a taxi and meet an older taxi and or Uber driver. That's okay. You can walk around with a friend. We recommend this, but not with your family if you don't live under the same roof. Family gatherings are prohibited. You are safe. You are safe if you maintain an appropriate social distance, but you can't go out with friends or strangers at the safe social distance. Excuse me. The virus remains active on different services for 2 hours, no 4, no 6, no. We didn't say hours, maybe days. But it takes a damp environment. But not necessarily. The virus stays in the air. Well, no, or yes, maybe, especially in a closed room. In 1 hour, an infected person can infect 10. So if it falls to the floor, all our children are already infected at school before it closed. But remember, to stay at the recommended social distance, however, in certain circumstances, you should maintain a greater distance, which studies show the virus can travel further. Maybe. We are counting the number of deaths, but we don't know how many people are infected, as we only tested those who were almost dead. And that's to find out what they will die of, and how many persons we can add the word coronavirus. We need to show higher numbers so that the people will take this more seriously, and will gladly accept the microchips we are making for them. We have no treatment, except there may be one that apparently is not dangerous unless you take too much. Maybe. Which is the case with all medications. We should all stay locked up until the coronavirus disappears. But it will only disappear if we achieve collective immunity, like when it circulates. But we must no longer be locked up for that. So go outside and get infected. This has been your latest update. I'm Ghost. Good night and good luck.
Mr. Matthew Timoszyk, guys. Mr. Matthew Timoszyk. All right, now we're moving on to my workout video. My brother, he's so awesome, and he always accompanies me in doing everything fitness. He loves sports. I love working out. I hope you guys enjoy the workouts that we've culminated for you guys, and hopefully you can utilize it in your next one. Check it out. That is how we do it. Working out, staying healthy, staying motivated is such a fundamental part of my life post-COVID. So I hope that you guys can utilize some of the workouts that we produced for you guys. Enjoy. All right, ending our show. SacTown Underground, another show down. But of course, we want to end it off on a high note. Mr. Carl Robson, our musical guest this evening, will be serenading you with the lovely sounds of him. Enjoy. Thank you very much again for tuning into SacTown Underground. We so appreciate your continued support, and I hope that we can be able to continue to give you guys great content. Hopefully, I'll be able to talk to people soon. But enjoy your day and enjoy Mr. Carl Robinson. Again, see you guys next time.
More family didn't want me, so they sent me to the pound. Then I got rehabbed by some men doing time. I made a positive change, now I'm alright. Rescued my Marlies, I'm a mud for life. I'm a mud for life, I'm a mud for life. Shh, don't talk, please don't touch. Don't contact my eyes if you want my trust. If you not calm, I'll call your bluff. I might be your dog, but I'm not stupid. I use my nose to smell some mud. It's a canine conversation, please don't judge. My old family didn't want me, so they sent me to the pound. But then I got rehabbed by some men doing time. I made a positive change, now I'm alright. Rescued my Marlies, I'm a mud for life. I'm a mud for life, I'm a mud for life. Exercise my body, discipline my mind. Now give me your affection, I gave you my time. Master the walk, now we can play. Let's speak body language, see the way. I live in the moment, understand me. So come on, invite me home, I know you're lonely. My old family didn't want me, so they sent me to the pound. Then I got rehabbed by some men doing time. I made a positive change, now I'm alright. Rescued my Marlies, I'm a mud for life. I'm a mud for life. I'm a mud for life. Join us with the mud militia. SacTown Liza, come when you come with your energy. All bridges, all the crews will come with us. Join us with the mud militia. SacTown Liza, come when you come with your energy. All bridges, all the crews will come with us. All creeds are welcome here.